Welcome to the Filmcast review of The Christophers, the newest film by Steven Soderbergh. I'm going to read the plot summary of this movie from the IMDb page. The children of a once famous artist hire a forger to complete some unfinished, long ago abandoned canvases so they'll have an inheritance when he dies, end quote. This is the latest film from Soderbergh, and it's a movie that is kind of the type of movie that made Soderbergh famous. Is people hanging out in rooms talking. There's no heist going on. There's no hitmen. There's no spy stuff. People just
there's machinations.
There's machinations. There's some people, but people sit in rooms talking, hashing things out. And the question is that compelling? Jeff Cannata, let's start with you. What did you think of The Christophers?
Well, Dave, I guess you could say what I thought of The Christophers is best summed up in the form of a limerick.
Let's hear it, Jeff.
Forgery makes you a felon, but if no one can tell, I'm not telling. The discourse on art hooked me from the start through the genius of Ian McKellen.
Nice.
I love this movie. I love this movie so very much. It is, I love people in a room talking. I love Ian McKellen, my favorite actor when I was in acting school. Did I tell you I saw his dong once?
You have said that. You've mentioned that.
Ian McKellen is
weird thing to keep bringing up. Anyway,
weird
go
thing
ahead.
To keep bringing up. And still have not described it. I mean, come on. What are you doing?
It's magnificent. Just being able to see him work. I mean, I know we are in the later stages of his life, and it pains me to think there will be a time when he is no longer working, because my goodness, is he a force on screen still in his 90s, I think, and just absolutely mesmerizing in this. The way I can just see the line written in the script on the page and what he does with it, how he takes that, and it is magical. And he is, he's just one of the world's greatest actors, and you get to see him on full display here. This is for the most part, a two-hander, and it is just a beautifully written, beautifully performed discourse on art and humanity. And this is, to me, I mean, I was weeping multiple times in this movie, not because the movie is particularly sad, but because I realized this movie, I'm sitting in my chair in this theater, watching this on the big screen, realizing this is what I care about most in the world. Other than my family, this is the thing that I care about most in the world. Art. The application of human toil, sweat, care, emotion, intensity in the application and creation of art. And this movie is that. It is an examination of that, what it is to be an artist, what it is to create, what it is to wrestle with humanity and try to express that in a medium that might not be able to capture everything that you want out of it. And how do you do that? And what is it that compels us as a species to try to express something that is inexpressible, right? And I just, this is what I care about. This is what drives me in the world. Is I love art. I love creating art. I love experiencing art, great things. And it is absolutely wild to me, especially after seeing this movie, to hear Soderbergh say, I'm going to start using AI, generative AI next. It's like, this movie is the poster child. It is making an argument against that. He made this movie, and then the next thing he's like, I'm going to go use AI. It's like, what? I don't understand. Yeah. I can't square that circle. I don't understand how to make those two things both exist in the same person. Because this movie is, I walked out of it and I went, this is a movie that could never be made by AI. This is a movie that you would never get from a prompt, right? It is intensely human, intensely flawed. These are actors interpreting lines that only live like this because Ian McKellen has lived a life. He is able to bring this concept to a deeper place in him because of the art that he has striven his whole life, strived his whole life to create, to be a part of. The fact that he is still working at this age and he's still, so driven to express. I recently saw him do that Shakespeare monologue about that was just recently unearthed about immigrants and he did it on a talk show, a late night talk show, and like the belief that words artfully composed can actually have an impact on the world. This is something that he still deeply believes, and this movie is a treatise on the human factor in creation of art. And it is so beautiful. And Michaela Cole is amazing in it. It is wonderfully shot. Like everything is long 2 shots, long takes. It's letting actors act. The camera is hiding behind things, just letting this world exist, letting these two people be people. I mean, it is so intensely human, and it really feels like the antidote to a lot of the slop that we are inundated with, and it seems like we are on the precipice of falling into, is this movie. And that's why I love it too much. And that's why it baffles me to hear Soderbergh being like, well, no, I'm going to try prompts, because I don't know. I love this movie with my whole heart. And it really feels like an anthem, in the way that music can be an anthem. It's like, this is what I believe in. This is what I believe in.
Thank you for sharing that, Jeff. Devindra Hardawar, we've already talked a little bit about the Christopher's on our main show, but let's just offer a few brief thoughts, and then we can get to spoilers. Any other thoughts on the Christopher's now that we're talking a little bit more about what it's actually about?
Well, responding to you specifically, Jeff, Ian McKellen's 86 years old, so almost 90, but he is, even if he was in his 90s, it'd be even more impressive. I think the thing about Soderbergh is kind of, he is talking about using it as like a tool for a specific thing in the movie he's making. He did not write this movie. I don't think if he fully comprehends some of the messaging from this movie, right? Like he strikes me as an artist who just like comes in on projects and like is so good at making things that sometimes he doesn't fully process them. Because for him, the act of making it is the thing. And sitting and really wrestling with your art is like an entirely other thing. And I don't even know, like he's jumping from project to project. I don't know if he's had time to absorb the messaging of this movie, but I hear you, because I think this movie is amazing. Ian McKellen's fantastic. And I do want to give extra shout out to Michaela Cole here, just because Ian McKellen's at the end of his career, a storied career. He has had so many iconic roles, and it's amazing to see him keep going, basically. To me, it's also amazing to see a young actor like Michaela Cole go toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah.
And do so in ways that are, I think, even more difficult, because Ian McKellen gets the showy role. He gets the role where he can be the kind of old kook whining about being canceled. He can be loud. He's boisterous. And I always come to Michaela Cole's face and how she absorbs things, how she thinks about things. And this is a movie where, like, this character is thinking of, like, so things are going on. She clearly is like absorbing what's happening around her. I love the way she conveys that. So I just want to say, like, that part of the film was also fantastic. Also, shout out to 2 other actors we have not mentioned. Jessica Gunning from Baby Reindeer is in this, and James Corden is in this, playing 2 little shits.
Yeah,
they're very good at that. It turns out James Corden's very good at playing a little shit.
I mean, the one of the strongest things you can say about the Christophers is that it finds a way to use James Corden correctly. And what I mean by that is
he's so good at it.
I'm just speaking for myself. Okay, this does not represent the views of the Filmcast. I find James Corden to be one of the most annoying personas in pop culture entertainment today.
Yeah,
and every time he's in something, it makes it worse, in my opinion. Remove the full half letter grade off of that movie for me. But this movie used him correctly, because guess what? You're supposed to find him annoying in this film, and it's like, wow, Soderbergh, I can't believe you pulled that off. But yes, Jessica Gunning and James Corden do a great job.
Close your eyes and think of the most annoying persona you can right now who you cast in this role. James Corden. Immediate.
James Corden. Perfect. Oh yes,
James
and then
You'll be shocked to learn he's available.
And it completely works. It completely works. I think he actually plays his role really well in this film and does a good job. And Soderbergh uses him correctly. So anyway, Devindra, were you finished? I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had to say. I love this movie. It is fantastic. It is a profound reflection of art and why it's so important and our relationship to it. And I think really interesting too, like Ian McKellen's character is just somebody who has gone through so much and has seen society shift so much, and has, I don't know, ideas. Like he has been semi-canceled at times for, it's kind of unclear what at times too, but just to have lived a life. He has lived a life and he's a little fed up with the world. You can even hear that in the trailer where she buzzes the door and she says wrong door. The idea that this man is so not only rich enough to have a gorgeous, townhome in London, to have two side by side, essentially. That's what it is. It's two. It's not just people talking in rooms. He has two massive side by side townhomes filled with art and just filled with creativity. Love that dude. The movie doesn't really comment on it, but it is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the movie as well. I think that the depiction of Julian Sklar really is what stands out to me. Yes, I agree with you. Michaela Cole is great in the film, but Ian McKellen's performance in this is he dissolves the line between performance and character, right? He becomes this guy in a way that you're like, oh, that's the guy. I don't see Ian McKellen playing a character. I see this is just that guy. And it's kind of the situation where he's using his own age to just metamorphose into this character of Julian Sklar in a way that it would, if he was 30 years younger, would not be as good of a performance, in my opinion, right? And so there's something really remarkable about Sklar's about McKellen's performance.
And he has so much energy too. Yeah, there's so much energy in this performance, and it's remarkable to see. Anyway, go ahead.
When Michaela Cole's character is first introduced to Julian Sklar, he's sitting in his room making cameo-like videos.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Well,
I relate to this character.
Well, it actually reminded me not of Jeff, but more of a friend of the show, Steven Tobolowsky, who I know has made cameos. Now Steven is in a much more active time of his career than Julian Sklar is in this. Steven is still doing voiceover work and acting and things. But I know Steven works his butt off on the cameos that he does. And it's just kind of it does kind of offer you a different perspective on a person than anything else in their public persona, right? Watching them make cameos is kind of this interesting, intimate perspective. Anyway, I really appreciated that, and of course, it's something that is an important part of the film.
I've never seen that in a movie before, by the way. To not only address the cameo phenomenon, but to show the sort of performance somebody has to do to even create those things. You're putting on he's putting on his hat or something.
Right.
He puts on his performance of the artist that people want to know and see. And that's kind of interesting to see.
Steven Tobolowsky, I remember he would put on the Ned Ryerson trench coat and all this stuff to make the cameos and stuff. So it's
he actually tries. The only cameo I ever bought was Brent Spiner for my wife, and lovely man. He did the message, did not fully take all the notes, and you can clearly tell he's just in his bedroom. Okay, what do I got? I got 10 of these.
Yeah.
Okay, bang, bang, bang. Let's go.
Right.
You can tell the people that feel like it's beneath them what they're doing, and
I think
compared to the people that are having a good time.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to view it as that this is sad for the character, right?
Yes.
In the movie.
But in real life, I agree with you. It's different, but the movies,
I think there are definitely in real life people that kind of do it it's beneath them. Yeah. We spent $800 to get yours, Dave, and I don't think that it was. I don't think the money was appreciated.
It was appreciated by me.
By you,
yes.
By me. Yes, that's important. That's the important part.
But
I take them very seriously.
Yes. And I would say that even though I think we're supposed to look at it in the film as, oh, this guy has hit a low point in his career, he's making these things. The way he's not doing a bad job.
No.
He's
putting
he's
in it.
His effort into it, and it kind of reveals a little bit about his character. Anyway, just one aspect of the film to mention. The other thing I guess I would just say is that in addition to being about the value of art, it's also about the impact that artists make on other people as humans, right?
Right.
That's really what the movie ultimately comes down to, in my opinion. And in that regard, I think it's very, very beautiful. So just some overall thoughts on the film, but let's get to spoilers. There's a few more things to discuss, starting right now. Even though there's not that many Ocean 11 style antics in the film, there are some, as Devindra put it, machinations in the film.
He can't. It's like Soderbergh can't help himself. It just it's like, we got a great story here. People talking to each other. I need a plan. I need a heist of some sort. Yeah,
I love this movie wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
but I do think the end is not its strongest.
Well, let's talk about that. First of all, I wanted to shout out that I felt bad for Michaela Coel's character, because she puts in all this work to photograph the works, to then make simulacrum of the works, and then destroy the works so that she can show Julian Sklar, hey, I destroyed the works, and then she can complete the actual works. But then it doesn't work, because then I think
that's one of the biggest strengths of this movie, from my opinion, because I immediately assumed that was going to be the central arc, is him slowly discovering that was, and I love that immediately
within the first 30 minutes. The first half hour, it's already done.
It's so great. It's so great that is, it's not the thing that it's a slow burn to find out that, oh, she betrayed me. It's just like right away. Yeah, so good. And the way he's like, okay, let's go outside and burn him now.
Yeah, burn him. We're going to burn him right now. And then it's like, I'm like, how is she going to talk her way out of this?
So good. Like, it's such a game of chicken, It's so great.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's talk about the ending, right? So what happens towards the end of this film? I'll just read from the Wikipedia plot summary of the movie, right? Julian dies and is found with a paintbrush in hand by his masseuse. Soon afterward, Laurie takes the real Christophers from the house. She forges a letter in Julian's name, granting ownership of the works to the actual Christopher, Julian's former lover. At a museum show honoring Julian's legacy, Christopher exhibits the portraits, all of them now finished in the style in which Sklar had begun his renewed work on them, though it is unclear whether it was Laurie or Julian who actually completed them. Alongside them, Laurie has produced a modern work honoring Julian by combining dozens of his cameo videos. The masseuse gives Laurie Julian's final painting, an unfinished self-portrait signed for Laurie on the back. So, Jeff, why did you not think this was the strongest part of the film?
I don't think it is unclear who finished them. I
think it is clear that Laurie finished them, right?
Yeah. Yes, and I wish it was more unclear. I wish we had. I think the time window that we're given makes it improbable that he finished them. Even though he's been painting, well, he clearly painted himself for her, and he had one night. He's not going to have finished all the paintings. But also, we literally have a montage of her close-up hand, doing them. Yeah. So the movie seems very clear that this is Laurie's work.
I agree.
But I think it would have been much stronger if there had been some question in our mind at the end of the movie, the audience's mind, of whether she did it or he did. Like if she could have dangled the question as she does to his kids about, well, I don't know, maybe he did. If she could have done that in a way that made it plausible for it to have gone, from us to walk out and being able to argue about that point, I just don't think it's arguable. I think the movie is pretty clear on it.
Yeah. It's pretty certain.
And why would it have been stronger for you if it was unclear?
Because I think that's a much more interesting position to put the audience in. Is like, what are you hoping happened?
Right.
What are you? What is more satisfying to you? That Laurie was industrious enough to pull this off, or that Julian had his come to Jesus and realized that there was something important about it and managed to finish these before his passing. I think that's a really interesting question to leave in the audience's mind, and I don't think the movie does that.
It becomes about Laurie's journey, basically, in the current state.
Well, it also becomes about Laurie's clever, clever Ocean's 11 style
right.
sleight of hand. And it's like, well, that's the least interesting part of this movie, I think, is whether she was able to pull the wool over those idiots' eyes. It's like, that's not, that feels like a movie, what the movie thinks is clever, but we, at least I, sitting here, am much more interested about these themes and this sort of deeper reflection on art. And so to sort of move the focus away from that onto like, whoa, look what she did to the art world. It just feels a little shallower than the rest of the movie.
I think the movie is more focused, like, even though it brings up all these great themes of art and our relationships to it, it is ultimately about that relationship between Ian McKellen's character and Michaela Coel's character. And there is a certain tragedy to the end that he does not quite get to complete his goal. But before that, like, his come to Jesus moment in this movie is sort of like, oh, I was a shit to her.
Yeah.
And carelessly, recklessly, from my place of privilege, I was a shit to her. I made like some one-off comments to be funny on the show. It destroyed her career. It ruined her career. It killed her confidence. And that, like, first of all, the fact that that's slowly revealed in the movie, and we get to see that that's what kind of stopped Michaela Coel's career and her artwork in general, even though she is clearly so talented. The fact that they sort of get to repair their relationship, to me, that is the core. That's what he does before he dies, at the very least. And she takes that, like, the good from their relationship. And to me, it's just like, what do I owe this man? What do I owe this man who has betrayed me and, who has wrought great harm in my life, but also was the person who inspired me to do this in the first place? It is very much, it's her thing. How can I help? What can I do right? And what she can do is go back to the Christopher, get to the people, to the guy, the original, his companion, and just try to like finalize the story for Julian. And I thought that was moving to me, because it was her doing it out of motivation to be a friend to him.
Yeah, the first time that, or not the first time, but one of the times that I burst into tears in this movie was when he says, "Oh, that's what made you." After I said that to you, you stopped, and she said, "Well, I stopped showing it to people."
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that destroyed me. Just the notion of like, well, the art, I can't stop the art. The art is inside me.
Yeah.
But I will protect myself from the hurt that other people can inflict by judging it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just so powerful. The other gut punch, I think as we're going to the
before
sorry,
we
go ahead.
I want to talk about that a little bit. Okay, so first of all, I love the way that they show the flashback to the show, which is they have younger versions of Julian Sklar and Michaela Coel, but you never see their faces. So, like, for me, whenever we flash back to like younger version, I'm always like, that person looks nothing like that person older self. Like, that's very distracting. Something similar happened in the drama, by the way. I don't know if you remember. You see a younger version of one of the characters. Is like, that person looks nothing like them. But they did it very cleverly. Like, they use the same voices, but you never see their face. Like, they're always out of focus.
I think you see in McKellen's face, but you don't see her. She's out of focus throughout the
I don't
whole
think
thing.
you see his face either. I think they're both out of focus. It's like it shows it from the back of the other person's head. And so I just thought that was a very clever way of framing it that didn't take me out of the movie. On that note, I think the way it shows Michaela Coel, the way it depicts Michaela Coel's life is very interesting in this movie, right? She is shown at the very first frame of the film drawing something. And so you're thinking, oh, like, this is an artist. This is like a very talented person. And then she gets up and goes to serve some Chinese food in this food truck. And it's like, oh, they're just doing it because they love it. They're not doing it because it's a career. And then, but then you're like, as the movie goes on, it becomes clear this person's enormously talented. Like, they're extremely good. And like, what was the whole story there? And then it builds up. Like, for me, the climax is the flashback to that episode. I guess maybe when Ian McKellen shows up at her house or at her studio, like, that's also. But like, when you flash back to that scene, and you're like, this is the event that shaped. Like, for him, it's like a M. Bison.
It was
Street Fighter
Tuesday.
movie.
Yeah.
Right. For him, it was just a Tuesday. But for her, it was like, this event shaped the entire course of her life. If Ian McKellen had been more charitable to her or more enthusiastic, she would have had a completely different existence.
That's right.
And there's something so tragic about like this talented person's life cut short. And then the movie becomes this redemption story, right? This redemption arc for like, hey, this fracture happened in this person's life, but like, can we still bring it back to a place where something good can be restored here?
Right.
And I think it is by the end. I think it is.
And that is mirrored by Ian McKellen's journey. He also had a fracture of a different kind, right? Yeah. And they both heal each other, right? By them coming together. I did not love all of the sort of machinations of getting our art installation, our art show staged, and all that stuff was just like, it wasn't bad, but it was not satisfying in the way that I was hoping for. But then I was like, movie, please have one more thing. And it did. And that gut punch at the end was him referencing his own childhood with the same cloudscape.
Right.
And seeing like, oh, he's still that boy. That's what destroyed me at the end of the movie, is that his own artistic reference to his own past and sort of completing that circle. And now, he's in the clouds, right? He is as someone who died, he's not just the boy beneath the clouds, he's one with them. And I thought it was really beautiful. And so the movie completely redeemed itself for me in that moment, but I didn't love all of the, other stuff.
Any other thoughts of the ending, Devindra?
No, I mean, to what you're saying, Jeff, that was a gut punch. It's like a beautiful, beautiful cherry on top of this story. It's the tragedy of it. Like, what I take from stories like this is like, man, it is so rough that these most small moments can have such huge effects on our lives. We can be so different. And then people can be so careless about these moments too. And whenever I see a story like this, I try to be in my own life, my criticism of things, the way I treat people, like it is something that I kind of take to heart, because you never know what you say, how that can compound in somebody's mind or life. Yeah.
Well, I'll just say, look, I have 0.0000000000000000000000001% of the notoriety and influence and talent of a Julian Sklar, but I think all of us on this podcast have very occasionally experienced somebody coming to us for feedback or mentorship of some kind. And what you realize in this movie, right, is that those moments can make a difference. We've gotten emails, and I've gotten emails from people that are like, hey, David, you met me at this event. It's 13 years ago, and you encouraged me about this thing, and it made a big difference. And I was like, I literally don't remember meeting you or saying anything to you, but
and I think you should stop. No.
and please stop contacting me before I contact the police. No, but like, but it's this dynamic where I'm like, I'm not saying it wasn't meaningful to me at the time, but it's just like I'm a forgetful person. We literally forget having watched movies that we reviewed on this podcast,
right?
But those moments can make a big difference in people's lives. And even moments that you don't think are significant can have this massive life-changing impact on people that you don't know. And so, yeah,
I think the movie makes such a beautiful point about that. When he was like, I was just thinking about my next joke. Like he's in a completely different mode than the actual even appreciation of art. He's performing for the cameras on that show. Yeah. It's not even about, and he's of course,
like a Simon Cowell type.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's clear analogs to that. But the creating something, the creation of art is inherently a vulnerable act.
Yeah.
It is, there's no way to divorce the vulnerability from creation. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this movie is making that exact point. Ian McKellen, in creating the Christophers, has stripped himself raw and tried to find some essence of this person he loved. And the reason those things are valuable is because the love exists in that creation. It is deeply human. He extracted whatever that was of himself and managed to translate it through the paint onto the canvas. That look that he captures in the Christopher's eyes is what is valuable about it. And that is why it cannot be just cavalierly recreated. That is, and I think that is what this movie's thesis statement is like, it's like, Soderbergh, what the fuck, man? You just made a movie that says you can't do this. You're going to go do it? What? Come on.
Yeah.
My position is kind of Devindra's in that one. Like, Soderbergh is always somebody who has been a very cerebral filmmaker, in my opinion, and also very tech focused. Like, technology is a huge part of a lot of what he does. And so to me, it makes complete sense that he's like, I want to experiment with the next tech thing. And, and you know, like look at his last like 4 movies, you know, there's virtually no themes uniting them at all. Like there's no ethos at all.
It's like Christopher Nolan making Oppenheimer and then going hard into the nuclear bomb business. You know, it's like,
but I what I'm saying, Jeff, is I don't think it's like that at all, because Christopher Nolan writes all his own movies. Like Steven Soderbergh is making movies that other people have written, and I don't know that
he understood it enough to make the movie. It's not like he's going in blind. It's like, well, what's this movie about? You make this movie because it resonates with you. You care about its themes. You know, I don't know.
Or you make it because you were able to get money to make it. You know, I don't know. Like
that seems very. I think that's a very callous.
I'm not saying all filmmakers work like that. I'm just saying maybe Steven Soderbergh does sometimes.
And also for him, this movie is Tuesday. You know, like he is moving on.
He's already moved on to his next one. You know,
Like,
it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing, Jeff, if like all of his movies were about this. Like, all of his movies are like about the nature of art. You know, but this is like. This is almost like a one-off. Like, it's almost not even really similar to most of his other movies.
But something drew him to this. This isn't like a callous money grab. He's not going to make a bunch of money. Ed
Solomon wrote a really good script. He's
Ed Solomon,
you know, he screenwriter,
and they've worked together.
He laid the groundwork. You make the movie. Like at a certain point, like I don't know how much you put into it if like the groundwork is so good. And this is a great script, by the way. So.
Also, I'm just going to put this out there, Jeff. Like, I think that part of what the movie is, I agree with you that it is about how humanistic art is, and about how like art is shaped by our experiences and our tragedies and all this thing. I think that's true. And also, I think the movie is about how at the end of the day, it is more important that people believe that Julian Sklar made it than that he actually made it.
Yeah.
Like that. Or not more important, but that like commercially, it's more relevant that people believe that Julian Sklar did.
That's the dichotomy that the movie is presenting. Is like to the two people that actually know, to the artists, none of that fucking shit, Matt. Like the rubes that are going to pay, you know, the tech bro that's going to pay however many millions to put this in that museum in Vegas. Are the idiots. These are the people. Like. It's like, and then, you know, Soderbergh's like, I want to go make a movie for those guys. It's like, what?
Really, guys, what I think this movie's main theme is about, you shouldn't spend money. You shouldn't spend money that isn't in your bank account yet. That's what happened with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, and they pre-spent the money apparently. And it's like, guys, come on. Don't buy things you cannot afford, ultimately.
The real goal of this movie.
All of that is very funny. All of those things are very funny, I thought. The way the kids... are revealed, and then the fact that she, you know, the daughter tried to do it for herself because she went to art school to try to be like dad. Like, I mean, clearly they had terrible childhood. Like their dad was a jerk. I mean, a lot of that is not their fault, but also it's very funny, the details of their lives that are revealed.
Also, I like that there's a scene where they try to blackmail Michaela Cole's character, and I just knew right from the like. I felt so in tune with the movie that I was like, that's not going to work. Like, this is not a woman that can be blackmailed. Like, I knew, in my bones that was true. And it's always
like
nice.
10 chess moves ahead of you.
Right. It's like, it's always nice when you can like feel like you know the characters that well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. Anyway, I think you can tell we all love the movie. check it out, The Christophers, if you can. And at the end of the day, it is really impressive that Steven Soderbergh continues to make movies, whether he believes in the themes of them or not.
Another one. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this video of the Filmcast. Check out these other videos that we have available, and be sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get other videos from us in the future.
You can also go to thefilmcast.com to catch all of our audio podcast versions of all of our episodes.
And support this podcast at patreon.com/filmpodcast, where you can sign up for ad-free episodes and exclusive After Darks.
Thanks so much to everyone who makes the Filmcast possible.